I'm on a bike. She's on a bike. Yeah, I'm on a bike. Yeah. We're all on bikes. It's Friday night, so you know I'm on my bike. Got my girlfriends with me, yeah, we're feeling alright. I drop my pedals down slowly, cause we ain't in no hurry. If you wonder where I'm at, you can be sure that I'm on a bike. She's on a bike. She's on a bike. I'm on a bike. Yeah. We're riding bikes. Got the wind in my hair and I'm riding to the beat. Yeah, we always look for ways before we cross up the street. Yeah, nothing feels better than a bike and good weather. No, these rims don't stop till these tires go pop. I'm on a bike. I'm on a bike. I'm on a bike. Yeah. We're riding bikes. Yeah, that's right, girls. We're riding bikes today.
Get out, get biking, get healthy. Find more exercise ideas at kidshealth.org.
My husband has heart disease, COPD, and lung cancer from smoking. Today, he's being tested to see if the lung cancer has spread. He may be the one getting the test, but we both live with the results.
The people you love are worth quitting for. You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
So how are you doing, Albert?
I'm okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
During our last session, you mentioned being concerned about COVID-19. Do you feel like talking about that?
Not really.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm just not really comfortable talking about my feelings and stuff.
I see. Well, maybe we can just...
Sing about them instead?
Yeah. We can do that. Did you have anything in mind?
Feelings are the things that make me feel things. I don't want to feel them 'cause I'm scared. What if someone notices my feelings? They can't judge me if they're unaware. So I stuff them feelings down inside where all the other feelings hide. And if you ask, I'll tell you I'm okay. Maybe it's just easier that way.
That was really good, Albert. You're making progress.
Thanks, I just...
It's okay to talk about your feelings. Hiding them can make you feel alone. There's no shame in talking about your feelings. It's good for mental health, as studies have shown. Don't stuff your feelings down inside. Let go of fear, let go of pride. It's okay to not feel okay. just be sure to tell someone when you feel this way.
Wow, I feel better already. Thanks.
My pleasure.
I really didn't think our session was going to burst into song like this.
It happens more than you think.
Really?
No.
Well, maybe we should.
Totally.
Let's sing a duet about our feelings. Maybe we can help to normalize how important it is to talk through our feelings. Doing so can help us harmonize. It's okay to let it all out. There's no shame in talking about. Don't be afraid to work it on out. It's okay to talk about the feelings that we
Alrighty then.
Same time next week?
Sounds good. Thank you.
SIDS affects infants less than a year old, with ages up to 4 months being particularly vulnerable. If the baby is sleeping in the bed with someone else, it increases the risk for SIDS or accidental suffocation. Now they can sleep in the same room with someone else beside the bed, just not in the bed. Nothing else in the sleep area. Remove all play items and soft objects from the crib at sleep time, and that includes bumper pads. Place baby on a firm, safety-approved crib mattress. Avoid overdressing your baby or setting the thermostat too high. And when it comes to sleeping, always, always, always place baby on his or her back.
And get some rest, because you're gonna need it.
Native Reach is excited to announce the launch of our new customizable app. By customizing the app for your organization, you can connect with your community directly. This isn't just another app. It's a communication network with content built specifically for your community. The best part? You can access the app from any device. Connect with your community with Native Reach. Reach out today to learn more.
SIDS affects infants less than a year old, with ages up to 4 months being particularly vulnerable. If the baby is sleeping in the bed with someone else, it increases the risk for SIDS or accidental suffocation. Now they can sleep in the same room with someone else beside the bed, just not in the bed. Nothing else in the sleep area. Remove all play items and soft objects from the crib at sleep time, and that includes bumper pads. Place baby on a firm, safety-approved crib mattress. Avoid overdressing your baby or setting the thermostat too high. And when it comes to sleeping, always, always, always place baby on his or her back.
And get some rest, because you're gonna need it.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 to 23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such there is no law. Long-suffering. In times of trial and enduring pain, have faith that you can handle whatever's thrown your way. You can learn from everything, even misery and misfortune. Allow those around you to help and care for you during this time. Having the grace to let someone else carry you for a while is not only uplifting for you, but becomes a gift you can give them. The great Creator reminds us to remember to pray for others today who are dealing with things we don't know about. We all deserve to heal.
There are many misconceptions about medications that treat opioid addiction. One myth is that taking medications like methadone and buprenorphine is just trading one addiction for another.
People that are on Suboxone are able to live like functioning normal lives. Like I know so many people that used to use heroin and now they're on Sublocade or Suboxone, and they used to not be able to have a full-time job, have their kids, and live a normal life. And today, they have full-time jobs, they have their children back, they run NA meetings, and they are productive members of society.
It's fixed my problem, and it doesn't have cravings.
The Suboxone is not getting you sick and wanting more of the heroin, you know. Suboxone is there to help you not want to crave for the heroin.
Methadone has changed my life a lot. It helps me not be sick, and when you're not sick, you want to go and obviously go to work and take care of your kids or whatever. I've heard people talk about, you know, them being against methadone and Suboxone, but at least I'm not going to go back to the drug that I used to, which ruined my life.
Another myth is that methadone and buprenorphine should only be taken for a short period to help someone detox from opioids. The truth is that for many people with opioid use disorder, recovery happens when medication and counseling are used longer term.
What we're finding is patients usually need anywhere between 2 and 5 years of medication for their brain to heal, for their ability to survive without opioids and falling back on that to be able to be cemented and get positive results.
The medications that I'm taking is Suboxone, and it's helping me live a better life and be a better person, because if without it, I would be a hot mess.
Suboxone helps you to maintain your life of sobriety. It keeps you on the right path. It's kind of like if you're a diabetic and you have to take medicine because you're a diabetic, this is the same thing.
I think we have about 58 people in our MAP program right now, and they're from every family in the tribe, and it's made huge impacts on all of those people.
To learn more, text opioids to 97779 to receive videos, quizzes, and more to grow your knowledge about opioids and learn how you can be an effective advocate for your community. Also visit the Northwest Portland Area Indian Health Board's website at www.npaihb.org/opioid for information, fact sheets, and videos about opioids.
The Urban Indian Center of Salt Lake is excited to announce the launch of our new app. Through it, you can connect with our community, getting vital messaging and updates from a source you can trust. This isn't just another app. It's a communication network with content built specifically for our community. The best part? You can access the app from any device. Download the UICSL app from the App Store and get connected with our community today.
Opiate addiction is not a moral problem or a lack of will. It is a disease. We need to protect our people and our tribal communities from this disease. Protection starts with prevention. Culture is prevention. Strong families and communities are prevention. And education is prevention. Heroin, morphine, and other prescribed pain medications such as Vicodin, Percocet, and oxycodone are considered opiates and have been used for pain relief for a long time. People who are prescribed opiates can develop tolerance to them, resulting in the need for increased doses to get the same pain relief. This can lead to misuse and abuse, resulting in a higher risk of opiate dependence and overdose. This dependence happens when a person tries to stop using opiates but has withdrawal symptoms. These symptoms feel like the worst flu imaginable: nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, shaking, muscle pain, chills, fever, and agitation. Often these symptoms are what cause continued use of opiates or heroin, no matter the cost. As prescription opiates become more difficult to obtain, people turn to drugs that are cheaper and easier to get and easier to become addicted to, such as heroin. The Indian Health Service works to promote safe and effective therapies to help patients and providers optimally manage pain and stop the inappropriate use of pain medications. There is a medication called naloxone that can reverse an overdose. We are working to increase access and awareness of naloxone and educate people on how to use this life-saving medication. Our people are strong. We can come together to prevent and treat this epidemic and heal our communities.
Hey, my name's Zion. Tell me about yourself.
Hi, Zion. My name is Vinny. I'm an enrolled member with the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara Nation, and I also work for the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara Nation. I have two current positions. One, I work at a child safety center, and two, I work in the evenings at our local community college teaching social work classes.
What types of social workers are there?
Well, there's lots of different social workers and different social worker positions and roles. You could work in the medical field, you can work in the education field, you can work with children and families, you can work with elderly, you can work in hospitals. Anywhere, any kind of medical field you can think of, there's social workers needed to work with people.
How did your career in social work begin?
When I was younger, when I think about middle school and high school years, I saw professionals or adults, you know, that were doing these jobs, and I always imagined that none of these jobs are going to be available when I'm older. Why would I want to go for that? I had dreams of, you know, playing basketball as a professional goal of mine. Like I wanted to be like Michael Jordan, you know, I wanted to follow those footsteps. I mean, we get older and we start, you know, developing ourselves as a person, and you kind of realize that these goals are achievable, and some of the things that you do in your everyday life are already kind of at a core value of social work.
How can students in middle school start their path to a career in social work?
first and foremost, I think students that are thinking about their future and thinking about social work are awesome people already. Going into the field of social work is by no means a walk in the park. It's not easy, but it is rewarding. It is already something kids are doing, networking and advocating for their friends and family.
Great information, Vinny. Thanks for sharing with me. See ya.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. You sitting there. Do you want to win a $25 cash card by answering some questions about Good Health TV? Who doesn't? The first 100 people to take the survey will be winners. Visit bit.ly/GHTV survey right now. Yes, now.
I was abusing prescription opioids. I remember thinking that it was from the doctor, so it was okay. I had hit my bottom. I had backed away from my culture when I was in active addiction. And then when I had fully become in my recovery is when I was like, this is who I am. This is my culture and I'm gonna practice it. There was a lot of healing with it, and I'm gonna carry it on and teach it to whoever I can teach it to.
Visit cdc.gov/RxAwareness or contact your local health provider.
Alzheimer's is a progressive disorder that attacks the brain's nerve cells, resulting in a loss of memory, thinking and language skills, and behavioral changes. Alzheimer's isn't easy for the individuals and the people who love them. Conversations with people who have Alzheimer's may be difficult, but they're never impossible and are great ways to show love and support. The first thing you can do is always be patient. Try to remember how frustrating it might be for the person you're talking to. Take some deep breaths and keep trying. When you see that person struggling to find the right word, offer guesses of what those words might be. And if they happen to use a wrong word or are mistaken about something, try not to correct them. Instead, focus on the feeling behind what they're saying. And always, always, always keep encouraging them and stay positive. Above all, try to remember one thing. Love isn't simply spoken, it's expressed. Love has no barriers.
Getting a COVID-19 vaccine will help prevent serious complications from COVID-19. And with the vaccine being distributed across the country, you may be wondering what to expect. You may have some side effects from the vaccination, but this is normal. It's just your body building protection against COVID-19. Some of the common side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, chills, fever, tiredness, and headache. These side effects are much like having the flu, but should go away in a few days. If you have pain or swelling at the injection site, use or exercise your arm and apply a clean, cool, wet washcloth over the area to reduce pain. If a fever is causing you discomfort, drink plenty of fluids and dress in light clothing. Talk to your healthcare provider if you have pain or discomfort from a fever. They may suggest an over-the-counter pain reliever like ibuprofen or acetaminophen. Discomfort or pain from a fever is normal, but if it reddens or tenderness gets worse after 24 hours, if your side effects are worrying you or they do not go away after a few days, call your healthcare provider. If you experience any difficulty breathing, swelling of your face or throat, fast heartbeat or dizziness and weakness, call your healthcare provider immediately. After you get the vaccine, remember to get a second dose if one is required. Continue to wear a mask in public, avoid crowds, and stay 6 feet away from others and wash your hands often.
Bonjour. My name is Lisa Martin, and I am a member of the Lac du Flambeau Band of Chippewa Indians in northern Wisconsin. We have a shortage in nursing for a variety of reasons. We especially need American Indian men and women who are interested in nursing. American Indians continue to be the group within our country who have the lowest ratings in terms of health and the greatest challenges. Something that we found promising most recently is the greater number of American Indian nurses we have, the better to help bridge the Western medical view and the American Indian view, which is a circular, holistic, more dynamic view. American Indian nurses play a very unique role in bridging those two viewpoints for American Indian patients, families, and communities. So they're very needed. American Indian young people bring a world of experience that is greatly needed in healthcare. I would want to encourage them to think strongly about all they bring, all they could bring from their life experience to this career.
Let's talk about HIV prevention. Those of us at high risk for getting HIV through unprotected sex or injecting drugs need to know about PrEP. PrEP is a safe and highly effective medication that can help prevent HIV. When taken consistently, PrEP can reduce a person's risk of getting HIV through sex by 99% and by more than 70% for people who use injection drugs. If you're at risk for HIV, it's time to make prevention a priority. Talk to your healthcare provider to learn whether PrEP is right for you.
I'm Oglala Sioux from Pine Ridge. Secondhand smoke changed my life dramatically. I'm not active anymore when I used to be. When I used to dance at powwows competitively, when I wasn't sick with this illness, I could dance, several songs. As compared to now, it takes so much to recuperate. It takes so much time to recuperate. And I attribute all that to the secondhand smoke exposure. When I can't catch my breath, it's like breathing through a straw. You can't get enough air. No matter how much you try, you can't get enough air. I see friends that I used to dance against, and some of them don't know how sick I am, how bad my illness is. So they'll say, where's your outfit? Come on, let's go dance. And when somebody says something like that to you, of course, it's like somebody challenging you to a basketball game. You're like, oh, all right, let's go. But up here, you want to go do it, but your body says no. So I've had people ask me, how do you cope with it? How does that make you feel? Doesn't that make you mad? And I say, yeah, it does, but there's nothing I can do about it. But there is one thing I can do about the exposure to secondhand smoke. I can make people aware of it, what it can and will do to you. So that's what I'm doing.
Life during a global pandemic can be tricky to manage, especially for people with diabetes, as they're at higher risk for severe illness if infected by the coronavirus. That's why it's so important to prevent and prepare for infection. Here are some things for those with diabetes to keep in mind. Priority number 1, prevent coronavirus infection. Stay at least 6 feet from others. Cover your mouth and nose with a cloth face cover when out in public. Clean and disinfect commonly touched surfaces. Use hand sanitizer and wash your hands often with soap and water for 20 seconds. Priority number 2, take good care of your diabetes. Stay active and eat healthy foods every day. Take your medication and insulin as directed, and make sure you always have at least a 2-week supply on hand. Test your blood sugar every 4 hours and keep track of the results. Also, write down what you eat to learn how your blood sugar reacts to certain foods. Last but not least, be prepared in case you do get sick, not just from COVID-19, but from any illness. That means having enough prescription and over-the-counter medications and enough food and water and other essentials to last you up to 2 to 3 weeks if needed. For more information on COVID-19 prevention and preparation, visit coronavirus.gov.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. You sitting there. Do you want to win a $25 cash card by answering some questions about Good Health TV? Who doesn't? The first 100 people to take the survey will be winners. Visit bit.ly/GHTV survey right now. Yes, now.
Good morning, Indian country. Rez Rider here. I already told you all about my new used motorcycle, but since I'm trying to get healthier, I also bought another bike, a regular bicycle. So I was out riding it, enjoying the sunshine, when all of a sudden I hit a pothole the size of my Uncle Frank's head, and that's big. Well, I went one way and the bike went the other. Luckily, my cuz threw in the bike helmet when I bought the bike off him. Long story short, I ended up with some cuts and bruises, but nothing major. All because I had the smarts to wear a bike helmet. So take it from Rez Rider, grown-ups. If you want your kids to ride safe, show them how it's done and be a good example for them. Laters.
Number one would be your gear. Absolutely. We need to make sure that you are protected from head to toe. Starting with your helmet. I mean, this is one of the things that can save your life. So make sure you've got your head covered. And then as far as your body, you want to be able to have your body covered. You know, you have leather, long sleeves at least, and the jeans, the cover boots, and the eye gear, making sure that you have coverage over your eyes. If you don't have a windshield, make sure you got your eyes protected because you got to see where you're going. You always want to look ahead because that's kind of the way that your bike will go, is where the way that you're looking and the way that you lean. That's always one of the things you want to look down at the road, but on a motorcycle, that's not a good thing because you tend to go where you look. So it can be the quickest way to put you down on the pavement. One of the most important things to do if you're going to ride a motorcycle, number one, is take the motorcycle safety course because you need to be a defensive driver, always. You have to really work at being able to think twice about how you're driving on this motorcycle and drive defensively like the other person doesn't see you. They talk about that it's not about the destination, that it's about the journey, and you want to be able to enjoy the journey. And if you follow the rules and you just think a little bit about the safety piece of it, you'll be able to enjoy that journey. Think safety and put that first so that you can make sure you can really enjoy it.
Hey, my name's Zion. Tell me about yourself.
Hey Zion, I'm Stephanie Dakota. I'm a member of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians. I'm a mom, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, and an aunt. And I'm also a social worker.
What's a social worker do?
Well, there's a lot of different kinds of social workers. There's case managers who work with individuals or families or people with disabilities. There are community social workers who work with community needs. They advocate for people, they advocate for groups or a community as a whole. They might advocate for an LGBTQ2S population. There's just so many things you can do with social work, and it depends on what your passion is and who you want to work with and what you want to accomplish.
What keeps you doing social work?
Social work is part of me. As a tribal person, as a Native American, social work and our tribal values really align. And so I think I'm going to be doing social work my whole life because it's part of who I am. It's natural to me.
How did your career in social work begin?
I'm Native American and I lived on and off the reservation, so I understood two different styles of life, two different ways of living. And I knew that I wanted to help Native communities have access to all the same things that other communities had access to. And so that's where my career began. That's where my passion comes from, is helping my community have the very best that they can and be the best that they can be.
How can students in middle school start their path to a career in social work?
You might want to talk to a school counselor or an individual in your school that you trust, that you really like, that you can talk to about what opportunities there are.
Great information, Stephanie. Thanks for sharing it with me today. See ya!
The COVID-19 vaccine is currently being distributed across the United States. While early distribution is focused on healthcare personnel such as hospital workers, long-term care staff, and emergency responders, the COVID-19 vaccine may also be available to others depending on your area. Here are a few things to consider in regards to the COVID-19 vaccine. First, 2 doses of the vaccine are needed. Depending on the specific vaccine you get, you will need to get a second shot 3 to 4 weeks after your first shot. Second, the COVID-19 vaccine will not make you sick with COVID-19. None of the COVID-19 vaccines contain the live virus that causes COVID-19. Rather, the vaccine focuses on teaching your immune system to recognize the virus to help your body build antibodies against it. Building antibodies can take several weeks, so it's important to continue taking precautions against getting sick after receiving the vaccine, such as washing your hands with soap and water, maintaining a distance of at least 6 feet from others, and wearing a mask. Third, COVID-19 vaccines may cause side effects in some people, such as feeling tired, sore muscles, and mild fever. These reactions mean the vaccine is working and do not mean you have COVID-19. And finally, 4. The COVID-19 vaccine is considered safe and is recommended for everyone, even if you've already had COVID-19. Talk to your healthcare provider to learn more.
If you're a person with diabetes, it's important to be prepared for life's unexpected turns. If a natural disaster or personal emergency happened tomorrow, would you be ready? Thankfully, with a bit of preparation, you can take comfort knowing you have an emergency diabetes kit packed and ready to go when you need it most. Start by making a checklist that another person can refer to in case of an emergency. Include the type of diabetes you have, your medical conditions and allergies, as well as your current medications, including the dose and time you take them.
Also write down the names and numbers of friends and family to contact in case of an emergency, and the name and phone number of your healthcare provider and pharmacy. As for the kit itself, you'll want to start with an easy-to-carry waterproof bag or container. Put in it a copy of your health insurance card, photo ID, and some cash. Include everything you need to manage your blood sugar, as well as enough food, water, and diabetes medication to last you up to a week. You may also want to include additional items like extra clothing, first aid supplies, cell phone charger, a flashlight, and some extra batteries. Don't worry about remembering everything listed here today. Just know that you can always go to diabetesdisasterresponse.org to learn more about building your diabetes emergency kit.
Few things beat spending time outside on a day like this, but one tiny bug can turn that beautiful day into a terrible mess. Commonly found in heavily wooded or grassy areas, ticks can attach themselves to any nearby human or pet. Ticks are important to avoid because they can carry Lyme disease, a disease spread only through the bite of infected ticks. But here's the catch. A tick needs to be attached for 36 to 48 hours before they can transmit the disease. That gives you just enough time to locate any ticks you may have picked up outside. Lyme disease is most noticeable right away for its gradually spreading rash that occurs at the bite location. But Lyme disease can also cause flu-like symptoms, such as fever, chills, and body aches. If Lyme disease progresses untreated for days or longer, it becomes much more serious and can cause joint pain, facial paralysis, and numbness. Want to avoid a tick bite? Here's how. Start by using insect repellent that contains at least 20% DEET before you head outside, and follow the directions for how often to reapply it. Spraying clothing, tents, and hiking gear with products containing permethrin can also repel ticks. When hiking or camping, try to stay on the center of trails and avoid the heavily wooded areas. If you've been in a tick-infested area, shower as soon as possible. Showering makes it easier to find any ticks before they attach to your body. You should also do a full body check, paying special attention to underarms, ears, and scalp. Don't forget to check and wash your clothes. Ticks could have followed you home on them. Don't let one tick bite ruin a beautiful day outside. Protect yourself from Lyme disease.
Hey Ma, look who's talking. It's your #1 favorite baby, me. Listen Ma, I gotta ask you something. When you gonna bring me in to get my immunizations? Seems like no matter where I go, I'm surrounded by germs. They're in the food I eat, the air I breathe, they're even on the things I put in my mouth. I mean, I know I probably shouldn't do that last one, but hey, if I can pick it up with my little hand, it's going in my mouth. Fair warning. So yeah, I know my body's got an immune system to protect me from most germs, but there's quite a few diseases out there that my body just ain't ready for yet. Vaccines help strengthen my precious little immune system and protect me from serious diseases. You gotta love that. Not sure which vaccines I need to get at what age? Don't worry, Ma, I got you covered. I went to cdc.gov the other day and printed out one of them vaccination schedules. What? You left your iPad right there on the table. What am I supposed to do, not research information about my health? Oh, and I might have gotten a little drool on there. Sorry about that. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I also learned that vaccines are safe and their side effects are mild. Deadly diseases, on the other hand, yeah, not so mild. So please, Ma, do me a favor and bring me in so I can get vaccinated, will ya? Don't worry, I won't cry. I mean, I'm pretty sure I won't cry. Well, if I'm being totally honest, there's a good chance I will cry. But that's, you know, a small price to pay for a lot of disease prevention. I'll get over it. Look, I know you probably got lots of questions, so why not head on over to cdc.gov/vaccines to learn more, or just talk to your healthcare provider about it. Believe it or not, they know a lot more about this stuff than I do. I know, hard to believe. Not to change the subject, but I was thinking later you might want to, you know, like tickle me or whatever. Hey, I'm not saying I like it, okay? It's just, times have been tough lately and I could use a good laugh. That's all. So you in or what? Ah, thanks, Ma. You're the best.
Each of our tribal nations are blessed with our own unique forms of beauty.
We unfortunately have one thing in common.
Opioid abuse is killing our people.
If you're struggling with an opioid addiction, you can overcome it.
Start by talking to someone, especially an addiction counselor, about getting help.
Let the strength of our ancestors guide your journey of healing through prayer and ceremony.
You are invaluable to our people.
The next generation looks up to you.
A better future for them starts with you.
All right, welcome back to the Heart Health Radio Hour here on HAJKLMNOP. I'm your host, Dr. Art Torrey, here to answer all your heart-related questions. But first, I'd like to take a second to thank today's sponsor, spinach. Loaded with vitamin A, vitamin C, folic acid, iron, and calcium, spinach can help lower blood pressure while helping your vision. Spinach, not just for Popeye, but your eyes too. All right, let's jump right into our first caller. Caller, you're on the Heart Health Radio Hour.
Hey, man, do you know that song Barracuda?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I just thought, you'd probably like it because you're into, stuff.
Well, you're right about that. I mean, I like their first album best, but, Barracuda obviously rocks, man.
Totally. Do you think it's really about a fish?
Probably. Say, I got to let you go, buddy. Let's see if we got a different heart-related question lined up. Caller, you're on the air.
Do you know how to mend a broken heart? She said she loved me.
I'm in a way, sure I do. Choose healthy foods and drinks, keep a healthy weight, and get regular physical activity, and don't smoke. Make sure to get your heart checked regularly.
Why?
Because that can help determine whether your blood pressure and cholesterol are normal levels.
Oh, you're a heart doctor.
Yes.
Oh, I see what I did. Heartache doc is the next listing down.
Wow. An interesting and rare phone book mistake. Anyway, that's going to do it for our show today. Hey, don't forget you can always learn more about heart disease prevention at cdc.gov/heart disease. This is Dr. Art Torrey wishing all of you out there in Radioland a happy and a healthy heart. Keep on a pumpin'.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. You sitting there. Do you want to win a $25 cash card by answering some questions about Good Health TV? Who doesn't? The first 100 people to take the survey will be winners. Visit bit.ly/GHTV survey right now. Yes, now. If you have fully recovered from COVID-19, you may be able to help patients currently fighting the infection by donating your plasma. Because you fought the infection, your plasma now contains COVID-19 antibodies. These antibodies provided one way for your immune system to fight the virus when you were sick, so your plasma may be able to be used to help others fight off the disease. To be eligible to donate, you must have had a prior diagnosis of COVID-19 documented by a laboratory test and meet other donation criteria. You must also be symptom-free for between 14 and 28 days, depending on the donation center. The minimum age to donate in most states is 16 or 17. If you haven't had COVID-19, there are other ways to help. Consider donating blood. The COVID-19 pandemic has caused unprecedented challenges to the U.S. blood supply. Between social distancing and the cancellation of blood drives, blood donations have gone down dramatically. Donating your blood can provide life-saving treatments to those who need it most. In fact, one blood donation can save up to 3 lives. Contact your state health department to learn whether blood or plasma donation is an option in your area.
For more information, visit fda.gov. Let's talk about HIV. It's a virus that attacks the immune system and is spread from one person to another through blood, semen, vaginal secretions, and breast milk. Anyone can get HIV, but some people are more at risk than others due to many factors, including the status of their sex partner, their behaviors, and prevalence in their communities. PrEP is a safe and highly effective medication that can reduce your risk of HIV. If you're at risk for HIV, it's time to make prevention a priority. Talk to your healthcare provider to find out if PrEP is right for you. Good Health TV is an educational health and wellness network made especially for Native American people. We're looking to hire freelance filmmakers, influencers, graphic artists, and health advocates to help us create new content. For more information, please email content@goodhealthtv.com.
Hey guys, I'm Mason, and guess what happened today? I went with my grandma to the clinic. I thought it was going to be boring, but it was awesome. Her doctor was super nice, and she let me follow her around while my grandma was with the healer. I saw her take care of someone's foot, teach somebody about diabetes, and even give a baby a shot without even making it cry. She knew so much stuff and made everyone feel better. She told me she wanted to be a doctor since she was my age, so she started taking a bunch of math and science classes, and they really helped. She even grew up on my res, just a few blocks away from my house. I guess she went away for college, but came back so she could help our tribe. And that's pretty cool. I love my family and friends, and if I could help them stay healthy someday, just like she does, that sounds pretty good to me. Well, gotta get back to it. Gotta focus. Future doctor over here. See ya.
Smoking gave me COPD, which makes it harder and harder for me to breathe. I have a tip for you. If your doctor gives you 5 years to live, spend it talking with your grandchildren. Explain to them that your grandpa's not going to be around anymore to share his wisdom and his love. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. And I'm running out of time.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Everybody knows that distracted driving is dangerous. But did you know that distracted walking can be dangerous too?
What an idiot. You can't walk down the street while wearing a blindfold. How will he know where he's going? See? I guess not. But
I think I broke my nose. You might as well be blindfolded if you aren't aware of your surroundings. Distracted walking affects people of all ages. Every year, more than 7,400 pedestrians die in traffic and non-traffic related incidents. Most pedestrian injuries and deaths could be avoided by paying attention.
According to the CDC, pregnant people might be at an increased risk for severe illness from COVID-19 compared to non-pregnant people. Additionally, there may be an increased risk of adverse pregnancy outcomes such as preterm birth among pregnant people with COVID-19. If you are pregnant, be mindful about reducing your risk of getting sick. Limit your interactions with other people as much as possible, and take precautions to prevent COVID-19 when you do interact with others, such as maintaining a distance of 6 feet and wearing a cloth face covering. In addition to preventing illness, there are other things to consider when it comes to COVID-19 and pregnancy. Do not skip prenatal appointments, make sure to have at least a 30-day supply of medicines on hand, and continue getting recommended vaccines. Talk to your healthcare provider if you have any questions about your health or the health of your baby. Call 911 immediately if you have a medical emergency. For more information on COVID-19, visit cdc.gov/coronavirus.
Hello everyone and welcome to Good Health TV News. I'm your host, Joe Creelbad. Today's top stories. City health officials in New Orleans recently hosted a special COVID-19 vaccination event with a tasty incentive. Anyone who received the vaccine earned themselves a free super burrito. Personally, I got the vaccine in order to protect my family, elders, and tribal community as a whole, but yeah, I would have done it for a free burrito. There isn't much I wouldn't do for a free burrito. I love them so much. Don't let the big smile and confident attitude fool you. I'm completely falling apart emotionally due to an overwhelming amount of stress and anxiety. Thankfully, I'm learning healthy ways to cope. For example, I now take long breaks from the news and social media. I take care of my body by eating healthy food, exercising, and getting plenty of sleep. I cut way back on all the drug and alcohol use, and I make time to unwind and connect with family and friends each day because, well, it's important. Wow, feels good to talk about that finally. Not that you asked. With June being Fireworks Eye Safety Awareness Month and the 4th of July just around the corner, it's important to remember that fireworks can cause serious eye injuries. Please don't allow young children to play with fireworks and always exercise extreme caution when handling them. The fireworks, I mean. Well, the children too, now that I think about it. Both are wild and unpredictable. That's going to do it for today's episode. On behalf of everyone here at Good Health TV, I'm Joe Creelbad. Remember, you feel bad if you don't feel good. We'll see you next time. Did I fumble on that one? I felt like I fumbled. Oh, she says I fumbled, so.
I can't remember which part it was. Somewhere around here.
No, tell me, please. Tell me exactly how badly I messed up.
So sorry.
No, lay it on me.
Just a teensy fumble.
I'm sure you would have done it perfectly.
You may hear adults say the word anxiety and wonder what it means. To help understand anxiety, let's start with worry. Worry is when you feel nervous or scared about something. This can be good sometimes, like when you worry about a test or a big game. Feeling worried can actually make you want to do better. Sometimes, though, worry can stick around for a long time. You may not even know what you're worried about. This is anxiety. Think of anxiety like a smoke detector, because they let you know when there's a dangerous situation happening, like a fire. But sometimes a smoke detector can be set off easily and can go off even when you're not in danger. If you feel like that smoke detector that feels anxious a lot about lots of different things, it's okay. There are things that can help. However, unlike a paper cut or the flu, people can't always see your anxiety, so you have to tell someone how you're feeling to get help. Always remember, you're not alone in feeling like this. Many people have anxiety. There are many ways to manage it. The first step is to tell an adult you trust how you feel and ask for help. You don't always have to feel anxious.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. You sitting there. Do you want to win a $25 cash card by answering some questions about Good Health TV? Who doesn't? The first 100 people to take the survey will be winners. Visit bit.ly/GHTV survey right now. Yes, now.
Hey, my name's Zion. Tell me about yourself.
Hi, Zion. My name is Vinny. I'm an enrolled member with the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara Nation, and I also work for the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara Nation. I have 2 current positions. 1, I work at a child safety center, and 2, I work in the evenings at our local community college teaching social work classes.
What types of social workers are there?
Well, there's lots of different social workers and different social worker positions and roles. You could work in the medical field, you can work in the education field, you can work with children and families, you can work with elderly, you can work in hospitals. Anywhere, any kind of medical field you can think of, there's social workers needed to work with people.
How did your career in social work begin?
When I was younger, when I think about middle school and high school years, I saw professionals or adults, you know, that were doing these jobs, and I always imagined that none of these jobs are going to be available when I'm older. Why would I want to go for that? I had dreams of, you know, playing basketball as a professional goal of mine. Like, I wanted to be like Michael Jordan, you know, I wanted to follow those footsteps. I mean, we get older and we start, you know, developing ourselves as a person, and you kind of realize that these goals are achievable, and some of the things that you do in your everyday life are already kind of at a core value of social work.
How can students in middle school start their path to a career in social work?
First and foremost, I think students that are thinking about their future and thinking about social work are awesome people already. Going into the field of social work is by no means a walk in the park. It's not easy, but it is rewarding. It is already something kids are doing, networking and advocating for their friends and family.
Great information, Vinny. Thanks for sharing with me. See ya.
Severe weather. You can never plan when it will happen, but you can prepare for it. Here are a few safety tips to remember when encountering different severe weather scenarios. First, let's talk about tornadoes. When a tornado siren goes off, it's important to seek shelter immediately in a sturdy building, especially in the basement or a hallway away from windows. And don't stay in your car. A car can be easily tossed around by the power of a tornado. You don't need a tornado to have high winds. Thunderstorms can bring them too. These winds, called straight-line winds, can get up to 100 miles per hour. And even though they're not the winds of a tornado, you should still seek shelter. Stay away from windows and don't use electrical appliances, as power lines might have been damaged or destroyed. Speaking of thunderstorms, we have a few pointers on those too. If thunder occurs less than 30 seconds after lightning, seek shelter immediately. Wait there until at least 30 minutes have passed since the last rumble. If a thunderstorm occurs while you're driving, seek shelter if you can, keeping away from windows that can be smashed. If you can't leave your car, don't touch any metal surfaces if lightning strikes. If you live in an area where flash floods occur, this one's for you. Never drive into a flooded area. Nearly half of all fatalities from flash floods occur with people in vehicles. And never walk through flooded areas. All it takes is 6 inches of water to sweep you off your feet. Now, this is a message for everyone. No matter where you live, it's important to have a disaster plan and designated shelter for you and your family. And if you live in an area with severe weather, stay connected to your local weather stations. It never hurts to prepare for the unexpected.
I decided to quit because my son, Nicholas, wrote me a letter when he was about 11 years old. He wrote me a letter and left it on the kitchen table for me to read. And once I saw that, I felt really badly because I knew it was affecting him, and he knew that smoking was bad for you. So he wrote it when he was 11. It says, "Dear Mom, smoking. Thank you, Mom, for quitting smoking. I know you can do it. It is a hard thing to do, but smoking kills you. So you are saving your life. I'm lucky to have parents like you and Daddy, because maybe other parents would probably say, oh, he's just a kid. But you are the best mom in the world. Don't smoke." And then he drew a little something, which is cute. It's me smoking, and then that's like before and after, and that's a dead me. That's him crying because he was afraid that I was going to die. And I made copies of it, and I keep it everywhere. Obviously I keep this one in my wallet, and I keep some at my desk, and I have them at home on my refrigerator, so it's like everywhere. My son is really proud that I quit smoking. He thinks it's the best thing I've ever done, and he thanked me for it. I think I'm being a good role model now.
Ah, the familiar sound of the summertime pest, the mosquito. We all know what comes after, the itchy, painful mosquito bite. Not only are their bites irritating, but mosquitoes and other insects like ticks can also spread diseases that are hard to cure. So what's the fix? Insect repellent. Here are some tips to make sure you're using it correctly. First, before you use any repellent, cover as much of your skin as possible. Less skin means less of an area for those pesky bugs to bite. This makes it much easier to spot ticks, too. If you're also wearing sunscreen, put that on and let it dry first. That'll give it time to soak into your skin. Boom! That's a double layer of protection right there. Children should never handle repellent themselves. It contains chemicals that are harmful if swallowed. Only adults should apply it, by first applying it to their hands and gently spreading it on a child's skin. Since kids often put their hands in their mouths, avoid putting repellent on their hands. And don't use insect repellent on babies younger than 2 months old. Look for repellent that has at least 20% DEET for full protection against mosquitoes and ticks. So there you have it. Skeeters and ticks are no fun and can spread diseases. This will help. Don't let a bug bite ruin your summer night.
As Indigenous people, we should never feel ashamed or shame someone else for talking about HIV. Instead, let's empower and celebrate one another for taking control of our health. That includes talking about PrEP. For those of us at risk, PrEP is a safe and highly effective once-a-day medication to help prevent HIV. Let's make the stigma surrounding HIV a thing of the past. If you know someone who would benefit from PrEP, encourage them to talk to their healthcare provider for more information. This project is made possible through the Minority HIV/AIDS Fund.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. You sitting there. Do you want to win a $25 cash card by answering some questions about Good Health TV? Who doesn't? The first 100 people to take the survey will be winners. Visit bit.ly/GHTV survey right now. Yes, now.
Stress can come from many places. From your job, your family, the news, and the world around you. While we can't always control what happens around us, we can control how we respond to it by prioritizing our mental health. One way to protect your mental health is by limiting how much you watch the news or look at social media feeds. It's important to take breaks from both and be present in what's happening around you. Another way to care for your mind is to care for your body too. Meditate, pray, stretch. Find time to find peace in each day. Also, eat healthy, exercise in some way every day, and stay away from things that can make stress worse like drugs and alcohol. Do what makes you happy. Find an activity you truly enjoy and make time to actually do it. Maybe take up painting or finish that project, or learn a new language. Anything to engage your mind in productive activities. One of the most important things you can do for your mental health is to take care of others. Humans were made to have community with others, and we thrive when we help each other, especially during stressful or trying times. Call people who might be lonely. Ask your neighbor if you can pick up groceries for them. Pay for someone's meal or mow your neighbor's lawn. When we help others, we help our minds more than ever. And finally, don't deny your thoughts and feelings. It's okay to not be okay. So talk about your feelings with someone you trust, and then put them in their proper place in your life versus dwelling on them.
Hey Sam, time to get your vision checked.
No, Dad, I told you my vision's fine.
Watch out for the camera guy.
Why is there a camera guy?
I don't know, but you got spaghetti all over his head.
Hi, I'm the camera guy, reminding you of the importance of getting regular vision checkups for you and your family.
Hey man, I really gotta go.
I said I'll be out in a minute. Will you talk to your healthcare provider about getting a vision screening today, please?
Oh, Sam, what did you do?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hold it anymore.
Each of our tribal nations are blessed with our own unique forms of beauty.
We unfortunately have one thing in common.
Opioid abuse is killing our people.
If you have a family member who's struggling with an opioid addiction, reach out to them.
Remind them of how valuable they are, how much they are loved, and that they are never alone.
Remind them that the guidance of our ancestors is always available through prayer and ceremony.
Most importantly, remind them that there is no shame in getting professional help.
Healing is beautiful and possible. It's easier when we're not alone.
When you smoke, it affects more than just your health. I love to dance. That's something that I handed down to my family. I was pretty good at it too, before my doctor told me that secondhand smoke at work caused me to have asthma attacks, infections, and lung damage. And I never smoked.
If you or someone you know wants free help to quit smoking, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Hey, my name's Zion. Tell me about yourself.
Hey Zion, I'm Stephanie Dakota. I'm a member of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians. I'm a mom, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, and an aunt. And I'm also a social worker.
What's a social worker do?
Well, there's a lot of different kinds of social workers. There's case managers who work with individuals or families or people with disabilities. There are community social workers who work with community needs. They advocate for people, they advocate for groups or a community as a whole. They might advocate for an LGBTQ2S population. There's just so many things you can do with social work, and it depends on what your passion is and who you want to work with and what you want to accomplish.
What keeps you doing social work?
Social work is part of me. As a tribal person, as a Native American, social work and our tribal values really align. And so I think I'm going to be doing social work my whole life because it's part of who I am. It's natural to me.
How did your career in social work begin?
I'm Native American and I lived on and off the reservation, so I understood two different styles of life, two different ways of living. And I knew that I wanted to help Native communities have access to all the same things that other communities had access to. And so that's where my career began. That's where my passion comes from, is helping my community have the very best that they can and be the best that they can be.
How can students in middle school start their path to a career in social work?
You might want to talk to a school counselor or an individual in your school that you trust, that you really like, that you can talk to about what opportunities there are.
Great information, Stephanie. Thanks for sharing it with me today. See ya!
While it may seem like any other chore, cleaning out an old shed, barn, or garage can be a matter of life and death if you're not careful about a possible rodent infestation. Rodents can be infected with hantavirus, a severe viral illness with no available treatment. When urine, droppings, or saliva of infected rodents are stirred up, like during a cleaning for example, the virus can get into the air, putting you at risk for inhaling it and becoming infected yourself. To clean a rodent-infested space safely to avoid hantavirus, here are a few tips to remember. Begin by airing out the space for at least 30 minutes before cleaning it. This allows fresh air to enter the area. Wear rubber gloves and use disinfectant on any areas contaminated with rodent droppings, like the floors or other surfaces. Then, wipe it up with paper towels or a mop. Always follow directions for how long a surface must remain wet with disinfectant. Then, throw away the paper towels and gloves. Discard or wash the mop and wash your hands. Do not vacuum or sweep the area, as that could make the virus go into the air. When it's time to clean up that old space, be sure to follow these steps to protect yourself. For more information, visit cdc.gov/hantavirus. Are you an Indigenous filmmaker? We've been looking for you. Who are we? We're Good Health TV, an educational health and wellness network made especially for Native American people. We aim to create entertaining and engaging, culturally reflective videos designed to empower our viewers with the knowledge needed to improve their health and the wellness of their communities. If you're interested in learning more or have a project in mind, all you have to do is send an email to content@goodhealthtv.com. Again, that's content@goodhealthtv.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Sometimes, this world can make you feel so alone, so small. It's a feeling that, if left unchecked, can isolate you from the ones you love, from the whole world. It may even make you feel as though you're beyond help. But you're wrong. You have a beautiful spirit, born of our ancestors. Losing you would be a devastating loss to our people. We need you here. Please, don't lose hope. There's always someone who cares, and there's always someone who can help. Remember, for every darkness, there is a light. If you or someone you know may be feeling suicidal, please talk about it. Call 1-800-273-TALK or visit www.suicidepreventionlifeline.org.
Have you ever found yourself pouring your heart out to a friend, family member, or your partner when you suddenly realize they aren't even listening? Have you ever cut someone off during an argument? Whether we like it or not, healthy communication is one of the most important aspects of a healthy relationship. That said, a lot of times things like stress, frustration, or a lack of focus can send communication down a destructive path. Feelings get hurt, doors get slammed, the relationship suffers. So how do we avoid destructive communication? And more importantly, how do we make our communication more effective? One of the most important ways is to become an engaged listener. The following tips can help you do just that. Are you listening? Okay, just making sure. Tip number 1, focus 100% on the speaker. Put down your phone, stop doing the thing you're doing, and just listen. Doing so not only shows the speaker you care, it sets the stage for a true dialogue that can ultimately nourish the relationship.
Tip number 2, don't interrupt. This one is hard. We all want to get our point across, but cutting off someone who is speaking basically tells them that you think your point is more important than theirs. And finally, tip number 3, active listening. If you find yourself waiting for your turn to speak, you are not truly listening. Your body language is likely giving you away when you're thinking about what you're going to say next. Just relax and listen. Whether or not you agree with what's being said, try to understand the emotion behind the words. To recap, focus 100% on the speaker. Don't interrupt. And active listening. Following these tips on a regular basis can help strengthen our emotional connection with another person. You were listening this whole time, right? Okay, just making sure.
I'm Savannah, and this is 1 Minute Wellness on Good Health TV. Washing your hands is the best way to keep yourself and your family from getting sick. Good old-fashioned soap and water protects you from the flu and many diseases. Not many people know the correct way to wash their hands. First, wet your hands with running water. Then, turn off the faucet and put the soap on your hands. Second, rub your hands together and lather the soap on the back of your hands, between your fingers and under your nails. Third, scrub your hands for at least 20 seconds. If you sing the song Happy Birthday twice, that's about 20 seconds. Fourth, rinse your hands under clean, running water. And fifth, dry your hands with a clean towel. Don't underestimate the power of good hand washing. Spending a minute at the sink could save you a trip to the doctor. I'm Savannah, and this is 1 Minute Wellness with Good Health TV.
That's good. Since my mother got cancer from smoking, I've learned a lot of things. Like how to help her out of bed, how to help her in the bath, how to keep track of her medication, and how to keep her spirits up.
Good night, sweetie.
Sleep well. I love you.
I love you too.
The people you love are worth quitting for. You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Hi everyone, I'm Sonia.
And I'm Tanya.
And this is
Cooking with Commods. Well, we are just thrilled to be here today because today is a beautiful day. I remember the last time there was so much snow on the ground, but we're just enjoying the beautiful April weather here in Texas. We have a wonderful sandwich that we're going to make. I'm trying to remember the name of it. We can just call it a tuna sandwich.
Tuna sandwich.
Or tuna salad sandwich, maybe?
That sounds good. Yeah. And I just love tuna. So I was actually looking forward to this. So you start with 1 can of tuna, and I will dump and you can scrape.
Okay. And maybe break it up a little bit.
Yeah. It's a good thing we don't have our cat here.
Yeah.
She'd be going nuts. Of course, so would the dog.
Wow, those are nice big chunks of tuna.
That smells good.
What's next?
Okay, 1 apple. And this has been washed and peeled and then chopped into small pieces. And if you happen to like it chunkier, that's fine. You can just cut it however you like. It's just that when you're making the sandwiches, smaller kind of works better.
Now what?
1/4 cup of yogurt, low-fat vanilla.
And again, if the dog was here, she'd be, they both love yogurt. It's already looking pretty. Now what?
Oh, that smells good. Okay. Next, we have 1 teaspoon of mustard. Now, I'm sure you're going to have to measure this because...
Make sure, okay? 1 teaspoon.
And again, like we're always saying, experiment. Maybe you don't want plain yellow mustard. Try some Dijon or brown mustard, spicy mustard. You know spicy would go good in here. 1 teaspoon of honey.
Okay.
I'm going to mess up the honey with the mustard. Well, my hands are clean, so
Okay.
I believe you. I just washed them.
Okay, and that's it for the salad. Give it a real good stir, get everything incorporated. And again, like we say, experiment. Maybe you want to add something. I was just thinking some red pepper flakes might really be good in here. Just a thought.
You know what I was thinking? Maybe some cranberries.
That's an excellent idea. Pine nuts.
Oh, yeah, I like pine nuts.
Sunflower seeds. Okay, and then you have 6 slices of whole wheat bread.
So, and as far as the bread goes, my sister knows I'm not big on wheat bread, but there are also white breads that have the healthy ingredients of wheat, but they have the taste of white. If you have someone in your family that's as finicky as I am about that, so will you? Thank you. She read my mind. Okay. Now, on one of our favorite shows, he talks about how you use the lettuce for a barrier, so your bread doesn't get mushy.
You might also consider a slice of Swiss, maybe Gouda, cheddar. I think cheddar would go good with this.
Or how about the gold brick? If you get commods, which is what this is all about, you're going to get a brick. And that cheese, we all know, tastes wonderful. And I don't know if you can see this, but it looks so pretty. And I know you're a diagonal person, so I'll cut it diagonally. And I'm kind of sending little pieces flying here. You can have that.
Thank you.
And we'll give this a try and be careful because it's still kind of falling apart.
That is excellent.
2 thumbs up. Shall we go for the ingredients?
Definitely.
1 can of tuna packed in water, approximately 6.5 ounces drained.
1 apple.
1/4 cup of yogurt, low-fat vanilla.
1 teaspoon of mustard.
1 teaspoon of honey.
6 slices of whole wheat bread.
And 3 lettuce leaves.
Add what you want. Some cheese, some red pepper flakes, cranberries, nuts.
Shredded cheese.
Shredded cheese would go good in here. That's a good idea. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Sonia.
And I'm Tanya.
And this has been Cooking with Commods. See you next time.
Hey neighbor, what's a wildfire?
Well, a wildfire's a fire that burns out of control. It can burn in the wild, it can burn near your home. Most are caused by careless people, and that's a sad truth. A wildfire could burn almost anyone's roof. A wildfire can spread wide when it's windy, hot and dry. Let's protect what's at heart and prevent a first spark by doing our part. When it's hot and dry and windy, that's when wildfires start. But a fire can't ignite without a spark. Let's put out flames fully so they cannot hide. Avoid burning leaves, wasting things outside. A wildfire can spread wide when it's windy, hot and dry. Let's protect what we've got to prevent a first spark. A little bit does a lot.
We gotta teach our grown-ups when it's safe to burn and make a big change with little things that we learn. A wildfire takes just a spark,
so let's all do our part.
What? Oh no! Oh no! Help! Anyone! Help! Help! Oh, what do I do? What do I do? I think I remember. I think I'm supposed to shine a mirror in his face or something. Does anyone have a mirror? Does anyone have a mirror? Think, Bill. Think. Oh, aren't I supposed to like clench my fist and punch him in the stomach or something? No, that's if he's choking, I think. But I don't think he's choking, is he? I mean, how can you tell? Does anyone have a mirror?
Calm down, Bill. It's just a CPR mannequin.
Really? But he looks so real.
Yeah, it's a good thing it's a CPR mannequin and not a real person, because he'd be in some real trouble if you're trying to save him right now.
I remember now. I'm supposed to kiss him, right? Cover me. I'm going in.
No, Bill, you're not supposed to do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Remember, it's still a mannequin, by the way, so you kissing him would be kind of ridiculous. Well, I'm not judging or anything.
Yeah, mouth-to-mouth, that's what I meant. I totally would have done that.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. You don't have to. Just leave it to the professionals. What you need to do in this situation is call 911 immediately, followed by pressing down hard and fast in the middle of the chest. It's called hands-only CPR, and it can save a life.
So where does the mirror come into play?
Okay, let's start over. Let me show you how the situation should have been handled from the beginning. Sir! Are you okay, sir?
You know it's just a mannequin, right?
I'm calling 911. Hello, I'm at 1265 Maple Street. A man has collapsed and is unresponsive. I'm going to administer hands-only CPR, and please send somebody as soon as possible. We'll stay on the line. Once you've called 911, it's time to start pushing down hard and fast on the center of his chest with both of your hands like this.
How do you know how fast to go?
Well, my parents listened to a lot of Bee Gees back in the 70s, and it just so happens their song Staying Alive plays at 100 beats per minute, which coincidentally is the recommended chest compression rate by doctors.
Staying alive, like John Travolta staying alive?
Exactly.
Like, staying alive, staying alive.
Yes.
Staying alive, staying alive.
You too can save a life using hands-only CPR. If you notice someone suddenly collapse, call 911 immediately or send someone to do so. Begin pushing hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Doing so immediately can double or even triple the chance of survival. Don't be afraid. Your actions can save a life. For more information, visit cpr.heart.org.
Welcome, class, to today's health lesson. Today's topic, the sun. You have probably heard about the importance of sunscreen to protect yourself from skin cancer. Do you know all the places to check for abnormal growths on your body? Sure, your arms and legs are important, but what about behind your ears? Behind the ears is actually the third most common place to spot cancer-related growths. Or how about between your toes? That's also a common place to spot abnormalities. Or the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands. Other common places for cancer-related growths are your lips or the inside of your mouth and nose. Did you know cancerous cells could even be spotted between your buttocks? Those may be some strange places to check, but knowing your body inside and out is the best defense against skin cancer. So lather on the sunscreen and keep an eye on that body of yours. Class dismissed.
Wow, I love the new car. Did you tell Mom and Dad you got it?
Yeah, Dad helped me pick it out.
I wish I had my own car.
One day, little brother.
But how could you afford it? I mean, you're paying for college too.
Remember all those jobs I had during high school?
Yeah?
Well, I saved the money I got from those, and I worked even more during the summer.
That's a good idea. Video games won't make me any money this summer. Got any tips for when I get the job?
Well, if you want to save money for the future, take a chunk of each paycheck and put it away. That way, when you want to buy a car or help pay for school, you have the money for it. And when you're at work, try to build relationships with your coworkers and boss. If you work hard and make a good impression, you could use your boss as a reference for future jobs or school. And finally, always do your best. No matter what kind of job you have, always do your best.
almost do anything to get myself prescription opioids. I'm from Naknek, Alaska. I remember the day that everything changed for me in treatment. To be able to heal with your own people. I think it was the best day of my life. There is hope. Just don't give up.
Visit cdc.gov/rxawareness or contact your local health provider.
Did you know there are 4 basic types of exercise? They are endurance, strength, balance, and flexibility. Each type is important and has its own health benefits. Today, we're looking at strength. Strong muscles make everyday activities feel easier, from getting groceries to playing with your kids at the park. For older adults, strong muscles can help with balance and prevent falls. Lifting weights or using a resistance band can help build muscle. If you don't have access to equipment, feel free to use common household objects such as bottled water or soup cans. Starting with weights that are too heavy can cause injury. When starting out, you may not want to use weights at all. You can use your body's weight with simple exercises like squats or push-ups. It's important to develop reasonable goals for building strength. 1 to 2 days a week with an aim to exercise each major muscle group is a great start. Last but not least, make sure to use proper technique when performing strength activities. Keep your movements smooth and steady and avoid locking your arm and leg joints in a tightly straightened position. Don't hold your breath and breathe regularly. Breathe out as you lift or push and breathe in as you relax. If you're unsure if a particular exercise is okay for you to perform due to age or health condition, talk to your healthcare provider first. For more information, visit nia.nih.gov/health.
With the COVID-19 vaccine widely available to the public, things are looking up. However, it's important to continue to stay safe. Continue to wear a mask, socially distance when in public, and wash your hands often.
Looking for a fun new way to get the whole family up and moving? Allow me to introduce to you the ultimate sidewalk chalk obstacle course. All you need to get started is good chalk, some pavement, and a little imagination. You can build the course however you'd like. Activities can include things like dancing, spinning in circles, walking backwards, clapping, hopping on one foot, or bouncing on a straight line. Once you've got your course laid out, it's time to get moving. Feel free to cheer each other on as you go. Get that energy flowing, people! Woohoo! You can also include some break activities to make things even more fun. Things like make everyone laugh, or make a wish, or name your favorite food. The possibilities are endless. What matters most is that you're staying active. Activities like this can help you and your family get the recommended 30 to 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity every day, and is good for your heart, mind, and body. Staying active as a family is also a great way to bond together, and even helps improve everyone's mood. So, next time you see the family sitting around on their phones or watching TV, why not grab some chalk, get outside, and get moving instead? You never know how much fun you're missing until you do.
This is Jessie. She loves to dance at powwows under the hot sun. Jessie's mother enjoys attending powwows with Jessie. They both dance hard in the hot sun. There's something that could make Jessie and her mother very sick. Can you guess what it is? That's right, dehydration. Your body loses fluids every day just by breathing, sweating, urinating, and having bowel movements. All of these things are good for you and keep you healthy, but they can make you dehydrated if you don't drink enough fluids. Dehydration is when you don't have enough fluids in your body. Fluids flush out poisonous toxins that build up in your organs and muscles. Fluids also carry nutrition to your cells. Being dehydrated can make you feel tired and weak, and being extremely dehydrated can be fatal. The easiest way to stay hydrated instead of getting dehydrated is to drink water often throughout the day. Drink a glass of water at every meal and between meals. Carry a water bottle with you and drink water before, during, and after exercise. If you're sweating a lot, you need to take in even more fluids than usual. Drink water, but also help yourself to fruits and vegetables that have a high water content. Natural juices such as apple juice and orange juice also help hydrate you. But drinking lots of water is still the best hydration of all. It will help you feel your best as you do the things you love.
Life can be unpredictable. So what if you have an appointment with your healthcare provider, but something comes up and you just can't make it? Please take a moment to call and let us know. Many times, someone else is waiting to get an appointment and can fill that time slot. We truly appreciate your effort to call and will gladly reschedule your appointment to a more convenient time. Thanks for being a good team player. It benefits us all.
When should you wear gloves to help prevent the spread of coronavirus? In most situations, like going to the grocery store or using an ATM, wearing gloves is not necessary. That's because gloves can still carry germs the same way your hands do. When you touch a surface with germs on it, then touch a commonly touched surface such as your phone or a car steering wheel, you can spread germs to those surfaces, whether or not you're wearing gloves. When you do go out in public, be sure to wear a cloth face covering, wash your hands with soap and water, use hand sanitizer, and stay at least 6 feet away from others. The CDC does recommend wearing gloves when you're cleaning or caring for someone who is sick. Use disposable gloves when cleaning or disinfecting, and wash your hands after you've removed the gloves. Guidelines and recommendations for glove use in healthcare and work settings may differ from the recommendations for the general public. For more information on keeping yourself, your family, and your community safe from COVID-19, visit cdc.gov/coronavirus.
I'm on a bike. She's on a bike. Yeah, I'm on a bike. Yeah. We're all on bikes. It's Friday night, so you know I'm on my bike. Got my girlfriends with me, yeah, we're feeling alright. I drop my pedals down slowly, cause we ain't in no hurry. If you wonder where I'm at, you can be sure that I'm on a bike. She's on a bike. She's on a bike. I'm on a bike. Yeah. We're riding bikes. Got the wind in my hair and I'm riding to the beat. Yeah, we always look both ways before we cross up the street. Yeah, nothing feels better than a bike and good weather. No, these rims don't stop till these tires go pop. I'm on a bike. I'm on a bike. I'm on a bike. Yeah. We're riding bikes. Yeah, that's right, girls. We're riding bikes today.
Get out, get biking, get healthy. Find more exercise ideas at kidshealth.org.